guys, it's Haley and I am so excited for this video. I'm going to be walking you through the Mateus Asato plugin from Neural DSP. This video is not sponsored, but I wanted to make it because I've just been loving this plugin so much. I don't know about you if you've ever found a piece of gear that just fits your style and what you need at the moment, but this plugin has been that for me. I love the sounds on it and it's very playable, so I found myself actually using a lot of the tones in real life scenarios. And I also really like how just consistent it is. I've had a lot of gear over the years. I play out a lot, break on me, and I love that I found this thing that if I wanted to, I could upgrade to the quad Cortex and make this my full amp and pedal board situation that would be very consistent. So I'm just gonna give you a very no fluff run through of how this plugin sounds and how I actually use it and play through just a few of my favorite presets. So let's go ahead and jump into it and I'll give you a short overview of just kind of how the plugin looks and works. All right, so here is the plugin here, and you can already tell it looks really cool. And they call these archetypes for each artist. And for this, all of the controls of it are really self-explanatory. So I'm not gonna go through and tell you like, here's how you adjust the bass and the treble, etc. So the first thing that I really do like about this plugin is the tuner. So the tuner I found myself using for all of my instruments, and I love this even when I'm not using this plugin. I like it a lot better than Logic's tuner. Then a few of the features to me that I find myself using a lot is the noise gate. I always use that, especially on the very high drive settings. So we got 3 different amps to choose from. We have our British tone, kind of more clean sound, all very self-explanatory controls and everything. We have our more modern clean, this is sort of a Fender style amp here. And then the last one, we have our very high gain, good for soloing, and there's a lot of really fun presets. You can also mix the cab and the amp head here, so that's kind of cool, and switch things out, so that's nice. All right, so just showing you a brief little overview of everything. So we've got your basic pedals here, and all of these are adjustable. I won't go through every adjustment that you could make on these. Pretty self-explanatory. Got a compressor, overdrive 2. Modulation, and this one can be vibrato and tremolo, which is fun. Can adjust all of that. We've got our different amp heads, and then here we have our amp and cab. And it's kind of fun. You can like play around with microphones and microphone placements. So you can really customize your tone, which is nice that you can spend some extra time on this so that way your tone really does sound unique. I really like that. So you can see move that all around, which is fun. And here we have our EQ here. And it's a graphic EQ. I have found myself more using Logic's EQ or a plugin, but you could do this if you would like that. And then the last little window we've got is our reverb and our delay here. We have a hall and a plate reverb here, so you can play around with all of that and really just customize this as much as you want. For this little demo, I'm just going to be playing through as is. So we are going to go into the plugins from Mateus. There are a lot of other artists and Neural DSPs, but since this is all about the Mateus plugin, I'm going to play through those. All right, so here's a couple that I have just found myself coming back to. And again, these tones are, I would say, a lot more probably geared for a modern kind of guitar. If you are playing worship music, these could fit in kind of like modern country or even rock music. But if you're looking for like metal or like, you know, really experimental or whatnot, those might be better for some of the other plugins that they offer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with this one, Dancing with the Falcon, which I have really loved. This next one is called Hipsters of Silverlake and Echo Park. And, you know, parts of LA. And with this one, I've had a little bit of a tricky time knowing how to use it, but it is such a cool sound. I have really liked it. It's just extremely modulated, so you really do have to use it in a setting that it's not gonna make your guitar actually sound out of tune, or you could maybe tone down a little bit of that modulation. Next we have a preset called Hosanna. This one's very delay reverb, and this one is such a pretty sounding tone. I would guess that is named that because it does sound like your very quintessential worship style tone, and it is, you know, has that really great way of filling up all of the space. So here's how this one sounds. This next one is called Kyoto Jam, and this one has that bit of a clean tone still, but it is overall very good solo overdriven tone. So I really like this one. And again, just a reminder, you can adjust everything to just find that perfect level of drive or whatnot. So here's how this one sounds. I'm just gonna show you one more, which I'm bummed about, but for the sake of time, but just a few others that I do like. There's a great one called Tremolo Sadness. I use a lot, the 1975, and then there's a lot of really good overdriven tones in there, and I really like all of those as well, but I tried to just show you a little sample of each type. So the last one that I'm gonna be showing you is called What's That Sound in the Background? And I have actually used this one a lot in place of kind of like a MIDI sound just to take up some space when I've been recording. So here's how this one sounds. So overall, I hope that this was helpful for you if you are considering getting this plugin and just wanted a brief overview of what a few of the different sounds are on here. I overall highly recommend it, and thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day.